Trump is using American power in such a capricious, destructive, dumb way that it will almost certainly result in a lose-lose for everyone. The real economic story of the last 3 decades is that the United States has surged ahead of all its major competitors. In 2008, the US economy was about the same size as the Eurozone. By 2023, it was nearly twice that size. US average wages were about 20% greater than the average of the advanced industrial world in 1990. They are now around 40% higher. The average Japanese person was 50% richer than an American in 1995 in terms of GDP per capita. Today, an American is about 150% richer than a Japanese person. In fact, the poorest American state, Mississippi, has a higher per capita GDP than Britain or France or Japan. And yet, Donald Trump has been convinced that all these decades, as America has moved ahead, it is actually in steep decline. His worldview seems to have been set in the 1960s, when in his memory, America was a great manufacturing power. Another piece of that antique worldview is an overestimation of Moscow's power, which in his mind apparently remains a towering economic player on the world stage with whom he can do many important deals. Russia, bizarrely, has been excluded from any new tariffs. The reality of America as the dominant nation in the fastest growing and most critical spheres of the global economy today, technology and services, seems to mean nothing to him. Donald Trump's nostalgic worldview is rooted even further back than the 1960s. He looks fondly on the late 19th century, when, as he described this week, the US had only tariffs and no income tax, and America was way stronger economically than it has ever been compared to the rest of the world. This history is nonsense. In 1900, the US was around 16% of the global economy by one measure. It is now about 26% of it. American standards of living and health are much higher today. But in acting out on his nostalgic fantasy, Donald Trump might well end up dragging America back to what it was then, a poorer country dominated by oligarchs and corruption, content to swagger around in its backyard and bully its neighbors, but marginal to the great currents of global economics and politics.